Hello and welcome to QRTV's World Radio Day broadcast. I'm Matthew Wilson, head of QRTV.
And I'm Alec Galt, deputy.
I'm Fiona McIntyre, deputy.
Brilliant, so let's get stuck in.
How did you join the radio? How did you started it before us?
I started last year, sort of end of last year, first year of uni, and did Taskmaster was my first thing. A lot of running around in that, was a bit of a marathon, ran quite a few miles in 2 days.
Did I not hear that you actually had to try and get grants and find your way to actually film that day?
Yeah, potentially. So yeah, that was how I started, and then over the summer then and into September then became a deputy of QRTV, and then just coming up to the run up to Christmas then took on the role of head of QRTV, and since then have many projects on the go now, so definitely check out the Instagrams and the social medias and the YouTube. We've got lots of exciting stuff coming up. How about you, Fiona?
Well, we're only first year, so we only joined.
And we joined together as well.
Yeah, we only joined in September. I became deputy head of the department, I want to say October, end of September time. Because our old deputy stepped down and I took on the role. But no, it's been really quite good. I've really enjoyed it. 12 Days of Christmas, which if you haven't seen, go check it out. Actually nearly killed us.
It was busy.
It was busy. Matthew basically single-handedly ended the whole thing. It's been crazy, but we've got really fun, new, exciting projects.
I think we sort of settle into the new year, and it's a bit more structured, and we've got a lot of really good projects on the way.
And we've got such an amazing department.
Yeah, really strong. A lot of new
Alec
people coming in.
here does all of our communications in the department with our members.
Signing off emails.
And the amount of emails he's gotten because we've just put out casting calls is crazy.
So we're really coming on with the emails.
We're a lucky team.
Exciting stuff.
What about you? How did you get?
So I joined with Fiona. She got me to join with her, and our first project was Sports Day. Where we first learned how to use cameras for the first time using proper cameras.
Because we'd never actually touched a camera before that. So.
But, we took it on quite well. I'd done film before in school, but nothing to the same degree.
And then you became officially deputy.
Just there now.
Literally last week.
Well, like last week,
But unofficial deputy from about December.
It's been good work in progress, but yes.
Yeah.
Very excited for the new year.
So,
do you want to tell us about some of the projects for the new year, Fiona?
Some projects for the new year. Well, we've got a very fun fresher series about everything about coming to, not even just Queen's University, just universities in Belfast. What it's like. We've just finished filming our campus tour.
Yeah, that's his first one.
Which will be released maybe soon?
Hopefully next week.
Fingers crossed.
Don't
want to jinx it. So we've got that coming out. We also have a documentary with Eco Rangers NI about pollution in Northern Ireland, which I'm really excited about. I've worked with them in the past with my art A-level. So we're going to be filming that in the more summer months because it's a wee bit dangerous to be filming.
That's fair, yeah. Health and safety first.
You'll whip out your underwater camera.
Oh yeah, get the drone up.
Our head of department, Matthew, here's going to be scuba diving so everyone needs to watch out. We've got also a sort of ongoing tourism series about different places in Northern Ireland, which...
Got a few big names coming up as well. Belfast Giants being one of them.
Yes, we've got a few exciting things in the works at the minute.
Yeah.
We've got more alpacas.
So excited.
Next week.
This Saturday.
Yeah.
So that'll be so fun.
I can't wait for that.
I'm so excited.
Good.
But let's start. Why did you join the radio? Like, why did you start? Like, what's piqued your interest?
Yeah, so over lockdown, I really got into editing and live streaming and all that sort of stuff. And then joined uni in 2022 into 2023 was first year. Then sort of announcement in the class about it. I was like, that's pretty cool, something I'd be interested in doing. And then from there, sort of joined near the end of the year, sort of getting settled, took a while, and then joined sort of April, May, June, and then that was sort of got me into it. And then since then, I've sort of through course and then through Queen's, I've had loads of opportunities to work on my camera and editing skills, and sort of growing even further since then. And then I've set up my own stuff as well. I'm doing my own editing and filming and all sorts now as well. So between all of that, it's sort of come together quite nicely from sort of starting from scratch over lockdown to then sort of 3 or 4 different big sort of things that I'm doing simultaneously now in terms of editing and camera work. So exciting.
It's quite a lot in a few years.
Yeah, it's
very
a
impressive.
pretty big jump in 3 years, but I'm all up for sort of journey.
Lockdown, did you ever done anything like
Not really, genuinely. Like I used Filmora, which is like a kids editing software, like once or twice for a few little videos for school, and other than that, I had no experience other than that. So it's been a big jump. So yeah.
Yeah, and didn't you say you taught yourself on YouTube videos?
Basically, yeah. Like DaVinci was taught entirely off YouTube videos, and then camera work is sort of, I have a few friends who do camera work as well, so they were able to give me a hand with it. And then a few friends at BBC who managed to sort of get me in contact with people from BBC as well. So I've done a fair bit of work for BBC over the last 2 years as well, which has been really exciting.
So Alec and I had actually never touched the camera. Sorry.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
It's been a very steep learning curve for you too as well.
Yeah.
But the how far you've come is really, really impressive in the last 2 years.
We got good training, to be fair.
Yeah,
it was really good.
I don't think anyone else could do it.
But yeah, no, like I remember it was like Sports Day was sort of the first.
Sports Day when I didn't even know where the on button was.
Yeah, and now
when I ruined the footage by singing in the background because I didn't know the camera and a microphone. Yeah, no, I remember that one, guys.
But where we are now is massively different, and we're gonna like you and Alec are gonna be filming Jeffrey Donaldson sort of next week in a big parliamentary interview. So that's a really big occasion for you guys, which is sort of shows how far you've come on as well. It's really exciting.
Yeah, and that's such an exciting opportunity for Claire as well with the scout.
Definitely, yeah. No, I think everyone's looking forward to that. Yeah, definitely. It's going to be really, really good.
I'm excited. So why did you? Was it me?
Well, so it was partially Fiona because, I had to come with her.
I was like, hey, do you want to wake up at like 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
and go film in the rain
after a baba. So the rain definitely helped, but like it was nice, and I definitely got a bit of passion from that. But previously I'd done film at school. I'd done lots of projects with stop motion animation and editing and stuff in school at GCSE. But then even more than that, I've always had a bit of a interest in Eurovision and the EBU and stuff, which kind of links like media but also politics, which also links to my degree. I'm pretty into politics, so that's been a big interest of me. Yeah.
You love Eurovision.
I do. We're having a wee watch party.
We're having a wee watch party this year of Eurovision. I'm really excited for that. We're going to decorate the whole of the Elms flat.
I'm going to get some flags.
And we're going to do...
Yeah. So it's kind of radio. It's a lot of different broadcasters. They all link together in some sort of spider web, and it gets political, it gets interesting, there's drama, which is another big interest. So yeah.
What
about you?
I started the radio. I'd always had an interest in radio.
Yes.
It's always been something I liked, but I never really pursued it.
No.
Because even
there's not many opportunities.
There's not many skills subjects though.
No, it was just
that are specific to that. Like you could do music, but then you'd have to play an instrument.
Yeah, it'd be good at music. Which we're not.
Okay, back on it. But then I don't think there was many. Like we didn't have I know some schools have radio stations. And I think it's more like an England thing.
Right.
I know my friend had one in her school, and I remember being like, "Are you kidding?"
Yeah.
But I think I sort of knew when I came to Queen's, because when you go into Queen's website, it has all the
societies. Yeah, to be fair, and it was like the one that stood out because it's so versatile. Like there's so many different areas of it.
There's so many things you can gain from being in a student radio station. But mine was definitely. So my sister and I used to drive to school in the mornings because she worked near where we went to school and she dropped us off. Every single morning since I was a kid, whenever Stephen Clements and Kate Conway did Q Radio Breakfast, every single morning we listened to it. It was so funny. They'd have things that would be like when I was getting out of the car, it would always be Stephen Clements would get his kids on. Yeah. Called Poppy and Robbie. And then there'd also be, they'd have things like "See you later, alligator," and then it'd be like "In a while, snail," and it was just the funniest things. And Stephen would I remember one morning that Stephen was poking fun at Kate. They'd been out the night before and she was in her pajamas in the McDonald's drive-thru.
Oh my!
But they were just such a fun dynamic thing. It was something that me, my mum, my sister, every single morning, without fail. And even when we were coming home, I think at the time, it was Declan.
Okay.
Who was doing it? I think.
Yeah.
Radio Jackie. I love him. Absolutely love him. But no, and then obviously Stephen sadly passed away. I think that I just was I love the radio. It brought such joy to me, my mum, because we are not morning people, I am not a morning person.
That's fair.
I don't like chatting in the mornings.
Yeah.
I don't like talking. I'm very much like a, just let me be.
Yeah.
But it just made the morning so much easier and better.
Mm.
And like I'd sit in the car and like I'd be waiting for my mum's sister to get in the car and I'd be sitting listening to it.
I suppose that's what radio's about though, to try to just like bring a bit of joy in, and it's
And it
easy,
gives you, like,
can listen to it anywhere.
Like instead of us just like, because I would just sit in silence like in the car in the mornings, like I was not a talkative person. We talked more and we had more discussions before school, and I thought it was really sweet. And then I'd go into school and some of my friends would listen to it with their parents on the way. It was quite popular with my
it's a
friends.
talking point in school then as
So
well.
then we'd walk in and be like, oh my gosh, did you hear? And it'd be sort of that thing. But like now, Kate's actually on a different show with a man called Vinny.
Okay.
Which they're amazing, they're hilarious. But also, they would also do a ski trip every year, which I nearly entered to try and go. Because I remember my friend Lauren from school went, and I was so jealous.
We should do a ski trip.
We should do a ski trip with our radio station.
Oh yes,
Because they were broadcasting from the Alps. Like, it was so
that's
sick.
cool.
That could be good.
But like now in the mornings, I say I listen more to Alexander Armstrong and Classic FM. My mum loves that.
That's my mum's favourite as well.
Or my dad will listen to Dave Berry's breakfast show, which is, I love it. It's so good. My dad, see when he takes me to work in the mornings, I always listen to. So Alexander Armstrong, and then they're sort of like main pillars on why I love the radio.
Yeah.
And like I'll sit and listen to it instead of music now. Like I like a podcast or the radio.
Oh, I love a good
Yeah.
podcast.
Like I've kept it as in like I do obviously travel by myself to uni now. I will still listen to Curie Radio in the mornings or Classic FM or Dave Berry's breakfast show. That's just what I'll do.
Yeah.
And even like my uncle Jeff, he listens to Classic FM, and they moved recently onto like a new server.
Oh, okay.
To listen to it on. My uncle Jeff at Christmas, this was the discussion how we were going to listen to Classic FM in the new year, what was happening. So
big Christmas dinner discussion there.
Yeah, no, I think Stephen Clements, he was such an amazing presenter and such a talented man, and I think him and Kate Conway really solidified my love for radio and sort of like I want to do that for people what they did for me and my mum and my sister.
That's so sweet.
Brilliant. Very good.
That's what I'm thinking.
How about you, Alec?
He talked about Eurovision.
Yeah.
You rated Eurovision, very good. How do me as well? Yeah, I'm a bit more traditional with the radio, I'm not gonna lie. I would be I listen to a bit of radio. I'm more TV side of it. I'm more interested in TV, but I would listen to a bit of radio. Like I think the interest that I have with the radio stuff is more from the experience that I've had as well, in the sense of like the stuff I've done with BBC. So one of the big teams that I worked with in BBC is William Crawley's, who talk back. So it's a bit more traditional. There's a lot of old folk complaining on air.
I love that. I
such a vibe.
And they phone and they discuss it. It's like Nigel Farage on
Then
TV News.
You have to sit in the phone room and like make sure someone's not going to go in air and like have like a complete meltdown. So you actually have to speak to them on the phone and stuff beforehand in the phone rooms, and then they go to the pre ready room, they go on air, and then they have a chat, and then they go on air, and it's like seeing the process of it as well is really interesting. But I think that sort of grew my interest more into the radio. So like I would listen to that sometimes, especially if there's like a big political thing happening at that time, because normally they'll go through a lot of that. So that's interesting. And then
Have you met him?
Yeah.
Were you starstruck?
Yeah, definitely.
I was starstruck. I worked at the Christmas markets. I was starstruck when Q Radio came up to interview our stall. And I literally was like, oh my god, guys. They were like...
This is your big moment.
Like, all the people I'm working with were like, calm down. I was like, no, guys, like I added their Instagram and posted in my story.
Another big one who I've actually worked with is Rebecca McKinney.
Oh, her mum taught me.
Yeah.
Her mum was my primary school teacher.
So her dad works in Campbell.
Yeah, they live in Campbell.
They live, but so her, obviously Rebecca McKinney is their daughter. So I've done a music event with her, done like live interview and stuff with her, and which is being released on YouTube and stuff. So that's another one I'm really interested in. And then podcast side of it as well. I've sort of got into podcasts more recently. I didn't used to listen to really any podcasts, but I've got into it more recently. One that I'm listening to at the minute is The Commission Files by Will Leach. So he's just left BBC after being a presenter of BBC for the last quite a number of years. So he's just launched it in the last year, and it's really, really growing. So that's something I've been interested with, and he's worked with me as well. Like I've worked with him before, so it's been really interesting to see how that's grown as well. So yeah, there's quite a lot out there that I'm not listening to on the radio and the podcast. But yeah, it's good.
Podcasts. What's your go-to podcast? I mean,
I love
we love a podcast. We've had many a discussion
quite
about
a few
a podcast.
that I would like. There's one called I've Had It, and it's these two women, and they just like complain about and I just love it. It literally sounds like something I would do. Or there's this one called Fear and it's kind of similar as well. It's just like topical pop culture stuff that's so up my alley.
See, I love there's a podcast called Morbid. With 2%ers called I've talked about this so many times. I actually think I have listened to every single one of their podcast episodes. I'm on the verge, I think I'm just gonna buy all the merch that they have. They did like an American tour of shows, and I actually was like, should I go to America
just for a podcast?
Because Ash and Elena are the presenters, and I adore them because I like true crime. I have a sort of interest in it. But I think sometimes when people talk about true crime, it doesn't feel very humane. And it's just a bit icky, and like I walk away from it, I'm like, oh, that was disgusting.
Okay.
These two women are phenomenal. Like the way they talk about it, like they get upset and they get they cry and they want to go leave flowers, and like they brought on people's family who were affected by it, and they talk to them, and they also do I do a history degree. They talk about some sort of medieval stuff, and they do different things like that. So I love them. I think they are such a perfect example of how to respectfully talk about it and give time to it. And they did one, so I'm taking a class, and part of my class this year is on Jack the Ripper. They did a 5-part series on it that I'm listening to now, re-listening to, actually.
Re-listening to.
Fabulous. Love it. So I think podcasts I'm a big fan of. Podcasts on the radio.
On a lighter note, another podcast, No Such Thing as a Fish. Have you ever heard of that one?
No.
It's basically just a load of random facts that are just ridiculous. But they do a book every year as well. I get all the books.
I can just imagine you driving the alien and you come in and you're like, hear this fact I heard.
Yeah, honestly, that's so me. But yeah, they do a book every year of a collation of the most random facts of the year, and then they just have a podcast. I think it's weekly, but I'm not 100% sure. And they just spout random facts, which is actually class.
So much sense. Because see, when we went over to we were over at Matthew's office recently at his house. In his office, he has his whole setup. He has a shelf here with I think every single Guinness World Record book there's ever been.
It's stacked.
I forgot to mention it when we were over there. I actually have never seen that many Guinness World Records.
I have a bit of another good set.
Do you buy one every year?
Yeah, it's every year for Christmas or my birthday, or Christmas normally I'll get Ripley's and the Guinness, and I'll read them within about a month of getting them, and then I either refer back to them every so often.
Just for a bit of light reading in the evenings when you're editing.
Yeah, exactly. Just get the book out and have a little.
Oh, do you know what I think we should talk about? I think we should talk about things we find admirable. Because I recently, I wrote it down. Durham had a radiothon, Durham Student Radio.
Okay.
Incredible radio station.
Yeah.
They did a radiothon which lasted, 32? It was 34 shows. It was 24 hours.
Wow.
Broadcasting day and night.
Which
34 shows. The money they raised £2,300 for the children North East.
Yeah. That's really
and
encouraging.
they also, I think they had giveaways and stuff.
Yeah.
Throughout it. It was incredible. I listened to some of it.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is really cool. I think that's so admirable.
Definitely.
I think that is mental.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
100%.
So I very much was I think what they've done is so similar. They also did East Nottingham?
Yes, it was Nottingham.
Studio Vision, they did in November.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which they raised money for.
Which I think is great.
So cool.
I think we should do that.
Definitely.
A Movember.
Yeah.
Well.
I don't know about me. But you guys Movember for next year. I think just even looking at other student radio stations.
Yeah.
I think what was it, York Student Radio Station?
Yeah.
They followed me, and they have what's for tea?
Yes. I love that.
It's so good. It is so good. It's so funny. I love it.
Yeah.
I follow their Instagram. They post the funniest things.
Very good.
But no, I absolutely loved them. But I think the 24-hour radiothon.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I want to try.
We do a 12-hour one, and that's a big
That's
operation. So to do that double that is really, really impressive, I think.
Full 24 hours.
Yeah, definitely.
I couldn't.
Definitely.
I think even going to Leeds radio, we're all going.
Cannot wait.
Cannot wait. April. That'll be class.
April 15th to 17th.
Yeah, 15th, 17th.
We'll be there, guys.
Yes, we all will be there. So that'll be a good 3 days training, and then also the Amplify Awards as well,
Yes.
which got massive amounts of entries this year, which is
Yeah,
really
wasn't it
encouraging.
the most amount of entries there's ever been?
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
yeah.
We'll see all the other student radio stations. We'll be like,
Definitely.
oh my gosh, I'm
Yes.
senior.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
And they'll be like, oh,
Fangirl.
Yeah.
they'll be like, oh, it's nice to meet you. We'll see the What's for Tea, and we'll be like, you followed us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Be so obsessed with it, I'll be insufferable. People be like,
Brilliant.
there's this girl running a point. We don't know if she's actually in the student radio.
She's just
but
a fan.
She's really a big fan of other people's radio stations.
Yeah, she actually broke in to just talk to you.
Yeah, no.
Very good.
I love it.
Yeah. Good stuff.
There's something about listening to other student radios.
Yeah, even just to like see what other student radios are doing around the
doing,
UK is
yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, I think there's so many of them. They do such admirable things. That
Definitely.
It's
Yeah, aspirations for ourselves then as well off the back of that. Like we can aspire to do some of the stuff that they're doing
I
as
like
well.
listening to Cardiff radio as well, student radio. Because my
Okay.
best friend Jemima,
Yeah.
she moved away to Cardiff for university. So I'll be like, I keep telling her, like, join the radio. Join the
So
radio.
we can
Come
see
to
her.
radio,
Yeah,
Club,
yeah.
come to Leeds.
Yeah.
But I like listening into them, and then I'll say to her, because they say, like, not even listening in, like, just looking at what they're posting and stuff like this. I'll send it to her and be like, are you going to do that?
You should join this.
You should
Yeah,
do
do
this.
all of this. Yeah, just all of it.
So she's sort of like Fiona Candle.
Yeah.
But no, I think also a lot of the student radios, like I was looking at different people's when there was the
Yeah.
awards in London. Obviously we didn't go, but we were watching who was
Yeah.
winning
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
trying to see. And I think like looking at like other people's Instagrams and stuff, like they post so much stuff.
Yeah.
And like their meet the I love that
Oh, I
student radio
always-
stations do the meet the
Yeah.
committee. I think
Yeah.
it's so cute.
It's brilliant.
No, I love it.
Yeah, it's nice to see how these radio stations evolve as time goes on as well. That's really nice as
Yeah.
well. Even within our own station as well, like even QRTV, like we took that on at the start of this year as we've sort of moved away from visuals into QRTV and seeing how that's evolved and seeing where we are now. Like we've posted videos this morning that have already got 500-600 views. So
Right.
to see it's growing so fast, it's really, really encouraging. So yeah,
We should put that on
definitely.
our Amplify Awards.
Yeah, I know, a bit late, honestly.
Honestly, but I'm so glad we've started this initiative
Yeah.
because it's like we're trying to get onto other platforms like TikTok and stuff, which
Definitely.
there's just so much potential there.
Yeah, and I think having our own, so we've called it Unearth NI, and I think having our own domain where we're posting, because it's easier to post, I think, on our Instagram and our
Definitely.
TikTok than it is specifically on the YouTube.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely. YouTube's like some people will watch it, whereas Instagram and
Yeah.
TikTok are such a wide platform that so many
It
people
is.
view. And it's also like it's on a topic that will have a lot of interest for a lot of people because it's for freshers for uni in Belfast generally, and I think even if you're not a student, there's still like the tourism stuff that we're doing, especially, is going to really be covering stuff for everyone, not just students. So I think it's a really good initiative as well for Queen's Radio to sort of like do as well for students in Belfast.
Yeah, no.
But
Yeah, it's also really fun.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been really,
Really
so
fun.
fun. It's so
Yeah.
many cool opportunities.
Definitely.
Like even we're working with the Grand Opera House right now in Belfast. I can't say the name of the show.
Yes, that's still on the
because
wraps
we're
at the
off
minute.
Calm regulated.
Yeah.
But we've got this amazing show coming up, and we're going to be having an interview with the writer of the play, actually.
Yeah. Hopefully the director as well.
Yes, and like hopefully some of the actors getting
That'd be
down,
really good.
filming some behind the scenes. Because
Yeah.
I also love when they even during lockdown when they did for performers and the arts and keeping the arts
Yeah.
going.
Oh yeah.
It's
Definitely.
so important. So I think really promoting them as well.
Yeah, will be really, really good day out, and hopefully we'll be able to get lots of publicity
I
off the
just
back of
love
them
the
for
Grand
them.
Opera House. I consider
Yeah.
getting a job there. Like
Yeah.
I fully did
It's a brilliant
consider getting a
spot
job
with
there.
lots of
I
shows.
saw Rocky Horror show
Oh wow, very good.
in August.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for them to come back.
Yeah. Very
Very
good.
excited.
Very good.
But
Right, I think that is us.
yeah, I think
Yes.
that's
I
a
think that's a
wrap.
little summary of
Our World
Yeah,
Radio Day.
World
Yeah.
Radio Day, and yes, we hope to see other events that we're putting on and other things that we broadcast very, very soon. So yes, thank you all for listening in today, and yes, we'll see you all again very, very soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Yes, bye bye.